And we are rolling. So, welcome Karan Kishore Parab to today's episode of Daily Trigger.
Hi, Amaya. Thank you so much for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
It's great, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Karan Kishore Parab is an actor as well as he's had an experience into modeling, working in theaters, as well as various ad films. So, that makes me curious and as well as bringing Karan to this episode to the table and have conversation. So, yeah, I guess Karan, we should start with your journey, putting some light in your journey, because what I think is through that, as you had various experiences into, all elements of acting almost, so that makes us
Yeah.
break down into every part, like modeling kahan se chalu hua, then acting kahan se hua, and theater and all stuff. So let's just start with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sure, man. So actually, um, my journey started when it's a very funny story. I was in 12th grade in Pune. I was in junior college.
Hmm.
And for some reason, like I started getting attention from the opposite sex when I was in 12th. And at that point, someone also said ki, "Are tu acha dikta hai, hero kyun nahi ban jata?" That
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very typical statement. So
Mhm.
and it's actually stuck with me. And I always used to love watching films as a child too, but I had never thought of it as a profession or anything of that sort. And then I think it stuck with me. And then moving into my first year of graduation, so I basically opted for engineering because my dad wanted me to be an engineer.
Mhm.
So I opted in for that, but at the same time I started my theater journey with this theater group called Swatantra Theater.
Okay.
So that was my first, I think, door, so to say, into the art of acting, the craft, where Swatantra Theatre was this really nice establishment in Pune. It still exists, of course, where we used to kind of, do all sorts of acting exercises. We used to undertake plays that were really famous and well known from the Delhi theatre circuit that were, performed by Irfan Khan and KK Menon and people like greats like those. And we used
Okay.
to kind of set the play, rehearse, have a proper 1 month rehearsal, and then go around the city performing in different, theaters.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And that was actually the beginning of me starting to actually like and getting to know what the art is all about. It's not only about heroism, or if someone says you look good, you could just go and become an actor.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, and I actually did theater with Swatantra Theatre for 3 years during my graduation.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually through that, um, when I was in my final year, I had shot a short film with this person who had cast me through the theater group.
Hmm.
And I had actually shared my interest with him regarding how I would like to assist after I graduate, how I would like to assist some director, some filmmaker, and that would really help me kind of cement slowly my position, whatever, just to get into uh, the acting industry.
Yeah.
And that actually happened. And I actually moved to Bombay after I graduated, and that's
Hmm.
another story, long story. Uh,
Okay.
I can go on if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Firstly, covering these
yeah,
2 points, what I'd like to think is theater is, I feel is personally, as you being from 90s kid, but me
yeah,
personally being a Gen Z, we people don't
yeah.
have much of exposure to theater. But
Right.
recently, like not recently, but 5, 6 months back then, I saw this movie called Ani Dr. Kashinath Ghanekar.
Oh wow.
And
One of my one of my most favorite actors. Subodh.
yeah,
Beautiful.
because that is the only recent movie that has put some, various, must, like it's in dynamic acting, and makes me think much more about like how should be the theater world, like these sound, cheers and whistles and all stuff. But then again, you said me that it takes preparation and then you go out to doing some acts and various sharing stages.
Yeah, I think a lot of good things you learn through a theater experience, like being a part of a theater group. The first and foremost, I think, which is very important as an actor, as an individual,
Mhm.
is it really, really teaches you teamwork and just loving the people you work with.
Yeah.
That's what theater really teaches you. Like, you become a unit, you are with each other. Um, a very it gets very personal. You're very intimately connected with each other after a point, and you really want everyone to do well in a play. It's not, there is no competition, there is no कि यार मुझे इससे better करना है, उससे better करना है. So that's a very good teaching that theater gives you.
Yeah.
uh, of course, you get really good at learning lines, because
Hmm.
it's like a whole huge script, and you have to really mug it up by heart, that you can, to the level that you can really recite the entire 90-page script in your sleep also. So it really trains you to do that as an actor, like take your lines seriously.
Yeah.
And of course, it also um, uh, makes you serious about acting. Like, it's like, I think if you directly try to go in front of the camera, or start with ad films, or start with whatever, maybe you might not take the craft very seriously.
Yeah.
But theater really teaches you that, what, this is actually a craft, it's actually a skill set, it's
Hmm.
actually something that you have to keep working on, and there is no end to learning,
Yeah.
just like a lot of other skill sets.
Right.
And of course, man, the cheer that you get, oh my
Mhm.
god, that's the then that starts making you hungry as an artist also. Like, I think theater also ignites that inside you, the whole live interaction.
Right.
And if you cracked a joke during the play and it lands and people laugh, then
Yeah.
you really, like, it gives a big boost to your confidence. Yeah, so theater, yeah, helps you a lot
That,
in that.
yeah, actually, that makes the point. And the second thing was, as you said, that you got assisted to a part, and then you kept, I think that was a point, like you felt like sticking up, and I might go into a clearer direction. And as you said, it's different when you work in ad films and all. But then
Yeah,
again, you also worked in ad films. So fast forward to Bombay, as you said, then what
yeah.
was the difference? Like, when did this ad film stuff start and modeling start?
Actually, after I moved, so I landed the gig of an assistant director, like the third AD on a
Hmm.
film project
Okay.
um, called Roopnagar Ke Cheete, actually, which was being made in Hindi
Yeah.
in 2014, just as I graduated. And then life happened. I moved to Bombay. I started assisting my director named Vihan Suryavanshi. And it was backed by Vipul sir and Reliance, and a really proper Bollywood project. 3 months into pre-production, it was going on full flow, and cut to, all of a sudden, we were told that the project is not going to take off because of a lot of whatever, financial and Reliance. Back then in 2014, they had these two major flops, disasters, that they
Hmm.
kind of maybe opted out or whatever.
Okay.
And then I was like, as a child, as a kid of 21, whatever, 22, I thought, like, okay, I'm going through the perfect going by the books, like I did theater, and then I'm going to assist, then I'm going to meet someone, and then I'm going to get a film, and I'm going to lead the film, and all of that. None
Yeah.
of that happened.
Yeah.
3 months later, almost 4 months later, I was just out of a job in a new city, scared out of my wits, because I think when you're brought up, or when you're, at least when you live in Pune, you kind of, Bombay is not the easiest city to kind of live in.
Yeah.
And so I tried to assist a casting director also for a few months after that, but it wasn't really paying anything. And then I had to come back to Pune because I did not have an option. I wasn't landing anything. Cut to
Okay.
when I got to Pune, back to Pune, I think I was lost for a couple of years. I was really lost. I got into a couple of bad habits because there was no real sense of direction. I think as an actor, that's the scariest part.
Yeah.
When you, yeah, when you decide to be an actor, um, it's you. There is nothing definite. There is. It's also unpredictable that it can really put you down after one major failure, and especially if you're young and
Yeah.
you don't know how to cope with it, and you can really easily um, fall into a trap of having no direction and just trying to um, run away from reality by getting into whatever bad habits or bad friend circles or things like that. And that's what happened to me. And then for the next 2 years after I got back to Pune, I kind of just started doing odd jobs, and I was, to be honest, I was drinking a lot, and I was just going around and without any sense of direction. And then I kind of started modeling with that. I
Okay.
kind of ventured into hospitality. I used to manage a pub,
Hmm.
on the side. I started modeling
Okay.
because I was like, again, I have to do something. By this time, I had actually lost a bit of interest in acting because I was like, maybe it's too difficult, whatever, and all of that. So just to keep something alive, along with my job as a person who managed a pub, I started modeling with brands like Jai Hind. I modeled for Jai Hind. I modeled for a few clothing brands, and then I got in touch with this female as I was in Pune called named Radhika, who partly became my agent of sorts, who gave me my first ad film
Okay.
when I was in Pune, and it was an ad film for Airtel, and I'll never forget that day, man. I got the ad film, and we shot the ad film. I was one of the, back then वो बहुत famous हो रहे थे ads like BlackBerry और ये Airtel वगैरह ये सब चीजों की कि a lot of hip groups like 5-6 montages of other different people doing
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
cool stuff, whatever. So it was one of those ads, and I was a part of one of the montages where I am with two other people by a bonfire, and I'm like dancing and all of that,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
we're having a good time. So I was very excited. I told all my friends that hey guys, screw you, I got an ad film, I'm going to be on TV and stuff like that. And I shot for it, and the ad came whatever released and was televised, and I realized that my montage was a far off montage of three silhouettes just
Okay.
dancing by the bonfire.
Okay.
So that day I learned the lesson, जब तक काम बाहर नहीं आता है और जब तक आप उस काम में एडिट नहीं हुए हो या उस काम में दिख नहीं रहे हो, किसी को नहीं पता, किसी को नहीं पता. Yeah, that's where
Exactly.
it started, man. And I kept like modeling and doing a few ad films here and there, but I was operating out of Pune then.
Hmm.
I was mom.
Like, we must say this was not a actual breakthrough, but a realization breakthrough, we must say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, I realized what theater had taught me, that it's not going to be easy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not going to be easy. Yeah.
And then again, were you thinking like, okay, right now I have this kind of routine that, you were into also hospitality, and then again you were started modeling. So was this kind of you're getting a hang of flow, or you were not actually satisfied and, I must go on and go on?
No, to be honest, I was not motivated at all. I was getting very distracted. You know, I think most of my 20s till 20 till I was 27, I think, till like 3-4 years back, whatever.
Hmm.
I was very distracted and very, I was just going with the flow, not in the best way possible. Um, so I wasn't as focused as I would say I became 4 years back or 3 years back. Until then, yes, I was modeling, I was doing the odd ad films here and there, but I wasn't focused at all, the kind of focus you need as an actor. So I was just going with the flow. I was uh, most of the time just kind of managing the pub, and then moved on to another pub. I was kind of not making a name for myself in hospitality, but I was good at it, I realized. So I just stuck by it. But to be honest, with that came a very not so good lifestyle, which is like
Yeah,
late hours, and you would end
yeah.
up, of course, partying with people. And so that kind of had really put me off for, I will say, a span of 4 years after I came back to Pune.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like before we get into, like, we'll be putting some light to the project releases that you have. Like, they are 3 to 4 that we have this year, right?
Yeah, yeah, man.
But like, like 2 years back, this COVID led all this stuff. But now you must be having some mixed feelings that all of this work I've had is just into this 1 year.
Yeah, so talking about that, so 2017, and this is why I have always believed in destiny and the way of the universe.
Mhm.
Um, I get a call in 2017 end, and this is Amay when I'm telling you, like, that 4 year patch of just being distracted, going with the flow,
Yeah.
doing odd jobs and all of that. I get a call from the same person, Vyan Suryavanshi, who I had
Okay.
assisted,
Yeah.
on Rupnagar Ki Cheete in 2014. So 2017 end, I get a call from him, and by then you should know. Even when I was working with him, I
Mhm.
had interacted with him twice for like 3 to 4 minutes each, because I was the third AD and I was interning sort of. So it wasn't ever like, we never really had any form of relationship. We
Okay.
never really spoke a lot also. So he called me end of 2017, and he's like, "Hi Karan, like, do you remember?" The answer. I was like, "Yes, sir, of course." And then he goes like, "Do you still act?" Because he wasn't on social media or anything. Uh,
Okay.
I don't think he still is, but whatever. And I was like, "Yes, sir, I do." And he's like, "All right, I'm almost done with the script. I can't share too much, but I would like you to test for it."
Mhm.
And I was like, "All right." And by this time, right, I had, my avatar was very different. I had like a very long beard because of my modeling.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
I used to get a lot of modeling gigs because of like having a really big beard, and I was blessed with getting to grow a big beard. And I had kind of longish hair. So I was like, "Yes, sir, fine. I'll audition for it." So he kind of, his assistant then sent me an address that they were also auditioning in Pune, in some school or somewhere, and that's where I did. That's where I went. That the next day or whatever, and I went in that avatar with the big beard and the big long hair, and his
Yeah.
assistant casting director auditioned me. And the next day, Vihan sir called me. He's like, "What the hell, man? I mean, that look is very different. And it's not the look I'm looking for." But there was something, he said. There was
Okay.
something. So, tell you what, he's like, the main casting director is in Bombay. So, can you travel to Bombay and, audition with him? And then he'll send me the tapes and I'll see what you can do. And can you please get that beard off your face,
Look
man?
done. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Yes, sir, okay, I'll do that." I go there, take my beard off, and trust me, man, it was a process of 1 month, 6 different occasions on which I tested. The
Okay.
last one being with Viansar himself, with an actual film camera, with the DOP Santosh Reddy sir. And yeah, I got it, man. I mean, I tested like for almost, I did half of the film scenes. Like it was that, because I was a newcomer, and that's the day the answer told me that you know what. By the way, I wanted to tell you this film is being produced by Rohit Shetty, and I was like, "Oh."
Okay.
And yeah, so like the entire industry had literally tested for it, I realized, and it was just one of those, man. Well, it
I
stuck.
mean, it must be really crucial and seriousness for you because, again, going through all the screening processes. But again, back then, an opportunity you shouldn't miss, or might be you weren't aware about it before. But Again, destiny, you said. Even I believe in some.
Yeah, yeah, man, intense destiny. Like, who would have thought, right? Out of the blue, just one person in the entire industry that I'd worked with calls me 4 years later.
Actually,
It's insane.
I'm too young to say this, but what I feel relatable is, even like even the person might be 21 or 25 or 35. Like, there are
Yeah,
some people who it's too early for their age also, because they are directionless, to be honest. Like,
right,
yeah, but I guess those are the people who are working hard on the most. Like, even it might be he's jack of all trades but master of none at some point.
correct.
But again,
Yeah,
he gets that opportunity for sure in life, rather
yeah,
than
man. But Amay, I need to,
yeah, sure.
yeah. No, I need to tell you this since you mentioned now that when you got in touch with me, I looked you up on Instagram and I was so impressed, man. Like you're what 18, 19, and you're doing all these things and you're trying to, like your journey of self improvement has already started and how, and you're so young, and that is so cool, man. And I have to say that, and please like carry on because hardly I see people like people are just doing the normal mundane things like going out, partying, and just I don't know, getting unhealthy and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So kudos to you, man. Keep it up, bro.
Thanks a lot, man. I
Really,
mean, I appreciate
really.
that, but it's just what thing I don't know what which landed up to me, but
Yeah.
certainly a kind of blessing that, but makes me certainly follow you guys. So it's just
Oh, man.
experience that I gain from you guys, and it's just I'm lucky to be early in this process. That makes it special.
Lucky to influence you in any way, man.
Yeah, and certainly like these audience shares matlab, most of the maximum audiences 18 to 25. So there are lots of
Yeah.
aways looking forward to this talk.
Oh, damn, man. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, so we were talking about this project release was this was produced by Rohit Shetty sir, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
like,
called School College Any Life.
okay, so like, how was your in short experience working for this project?
Oh wow, I was okay. Honestly, I was shitting bricks every single day of
Okay.
uh, the project because it everything was new. Everything was new. I was panicking. I had crazy anxiety on set, off set, because everything was happening to me for the first time. A major script reading, meeting the entire team, and like when you're leading a film, I realized that you're given a lot of attention and importance.
Right.
Like you are the person, you are the
Hmm.
one, like
Yeah.
you're the chosen one. What do you
Yeah.
want, sir? What do you want? What are you okay? Are you okay? So
Yeah.
it is very overwhelming, and it is a lot to take in initially. But then, yes, we shot over a span of almost a year, um,
Okay.
for I think about 60 days, but over a span of a year because of whatever different things, rains and all of that, and a lot of factors come into play. But insane learning curve. I of course had the opportunity to meet Rohit sir himself. Brilliant guy, very intimidating at first, but he's actually just a person who loves creating, and he's funny in his own way. And he is actually, once he really likes someone, he can really do anything for that person. That's something about Rohit sir. And I really developed an amazing relationship with Viyan Suryavanshi as my director, and it of course goes to date, because I ended up doing one more film with him.
Yeah.
So it really, man, it was the best. Like I hadn't ever learned so much as an actor, of course, that I learned in that 1 year, and it still provides me with all the tools that I have by now.
Mhm.
It taught me everything, literally everything. No film school can teach you what my first film taught me.
This is just this difference we have, like, to date, like formal education, and then again this kind of raw education we get.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
education, it's just a life learning we get for eternally. That's it.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's as simple as practical. knowledge is better than uh, bookish
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah. That's the most uh, correct part, you can say. And again,
Yeah.
talking about Roopnagar Ke Cheete was like back then in 2014 and 15. But then how
Yeah.
did the part resume, and then how did this actually land up to releasing?
So the thing about Vihan Suryavanshi sir is he is a writer director. He writes
Okay.
his own scripts. He writes his own screenplay, and he also directs it, of course. So he's that kind of a filmmaker, like story, screenplay, and directed by
Yeah.
that film. So he literally had written. He's written like almost, I think, a lot of scripts. So when Roopnagar Ke Cheete in Hindi didn't work out back then, uh, it like of course all his scripts are very personal to him because he's felt them, he's experienced them in some way, and he's written them himself.
Hmm.
But Roopnagar Ke Cheete, of course, was stuck with him after getting done with shooting school college. And he was like, you know what? I want to now again revive this project and I want to start shooting. And he decided to begin this journey with his very dear friend, Manan Shah, sir, who is, the nephew of Vipul Amritlal Shah.
Okay.
And they've had a very long, amazing relationship, Manan sir and Vian sir. So they kind of got on it. I think at the beginning of the lockdown. At the beginning of the lockdown,
Okay.
and yeah, cut to I get a call, but I had to go through the same process, though, mind you, because Vian sir is very, very professional that way. He wouldn't just cast me because he's worked with me. So I had to go through the same process. This is, I still remember, in May of 2020, like I think a couple of months into lockdown, I get a call from the casting director, Rohan Mapuskar sir,
Okay.
who kind of briefed me about the project. And I in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know every single note of this film because I've worked on that film. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
created PowerPoint, I've created presentations, I've created tables of props and costumes and scene division and everything. Like I knew it by heart. I was like, yes, I will test for it. And again, I went through quite a few other rounds. And cut to, I was cast in October of 2020.
Okay.
And then the shoot kind of happened in three schedules of, during the lockdown, which was amazing because touch wood, no one really got infected or the shoot didn't stop because of COVID.
Okay. And like me personally, like, and the audience which doesn't know much about Roopnagar Ke Cheete, but
Right.
certainly what piece of content we know about it is that the poster release we had, we need to,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was kind of interesting to see that, there are these two kids or two people standing on the mountain, and then it's just a zoom in coming. And, Roopnagar Ke Cheete is a kind of fascinating phrase. And I believe
Yeah,
Bollywood say it was originated first, that dialogue we have.
correct. Yes, yes, man. Yes, yes.
लाइक
Uh,
रूपनगर के चीते हैं शिकार पे ही जीते हैं, समथिंग लाइक
शिकार
दैट.
पर ही जीते हैं. Yes. It's from a film from like named Pratikar, I think,
प्रतिकार, या.
during the 90s. Kafi
नाइनटीज.
like those typical villain era.
I
Um,
mean, sir must have been having certain personal touch, and then again, I like got to know about it that these two kids they share a lot of deep friendship, and once they get separated with certain life obstacles, and then it happens.
yeah. So in short, it is a film on friendship, and it is a film celebrating friendship between two people who happen to be me and another guy. Um, and both of us basically the film travels through us, our friendship, and how a very serious incident that takes place
Okay.
kind of creates a conflict between us, tests our friendship of almost all our life. Like we have been friends since literally we were born, and how an incident that takes place in when we're in college, how it kind of creates a conflict and puts us on different paths,
Okay.
and how we kind of uh, are placed in different cities then,
Hmm.
and how kind of what happens after that with each of us in that
Okay.
journey of life.
Yeah, I mean,
And
also concerning about like Marathi industry, the name itself and the poster itself makes us curious, and it's kind of hatke yaar, because it's not been yet showcased in Marathi industry yet. So I believe this must be
I,
something new coming up.
yeah, yeah, I will say here about Vian Sir also, that he's a very he's a brilliant filmmaker. He has this amazing eye for detail, and both like the duo, Vihan Suryanshi and Santosh Reddy, who is his DOP cinematographer. Both of them are a duo. They have both done school, college, and RKC, and it's they're very cinematic, picturesque people. So you will see this in his films, that uh, they really are very good looking films. They're very fresh, and they're very diff- they're all about emotions. So he's
Mhm.
a guy who is emotional in real life, and who also has a lot of heart in his stories and films. So that's
Yeah,
what he has attempted with both these films, and I'm I'm hoping they're very beautifully shot and all of that. So yeah, maybe hope it they create waves in
yeah,
some form.
surely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And as well as talking
Yep.
about another project that is Wade, right? Uh,
Yeah. Wow.
Firstly, before knowing your experience, that itself makes it special, because audience to know about it, it is directed by Riteish Deshmukh sir, and then again
Yes.
that is his debut, I guess, for directing.
Yes.
And then
Yes. His
again,
directorial debut. Yes.
music work done by Ajay Atul sir, and then again Genelia ma'am. So
Yeah.
it's just a blockbuster. A cast is whole lot of special to you because working with
Yeah.
them. Then let's just talk about it. Like, I want to know, how was your experience? How are we looking forward to it?
Oh yeah. I was cast in this film through Rohan Mapuskar sir himself. Who was casting for this film, and of course, I was very excited when I got the film. I have a very important character that I play in the film,
Mhm.
and I was looking forward to it. And I think we shot over a span of 10 to 11 days. My first day on set, again, that sense of intimidation, and I don't know, like you're kind of
There's a
thinking
zone you
what
get
will
into it, all of a
be.
sudden.
Yeah. And then I see Ritesh sir for the first time. And, to be honest, I've been a very, very big fan of Ritesh Deshmukh sir, because,
Same.
I mean, he's just so cool, basically. He's funny, he's cool, he is this really, really great, actor who has this crazy comic timing, and then he did these negative couple of roles which he nailed also. So I've been
Exactly.
actually, and he's a Marathi mulga, so I'm
Barabar.
very, very proud and like a big fan and admirer of his work. So all of that, and then I was like, shit, how is going to be the first meeting and all that. And then he walks on set, and he comes and he's like, hey, you're playing, I can't name the character, but anyway, you're
Yeah.
playing that guy. I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he just sat with me, and and it's credit to him that he made it feel like just two people chatting in like 5 seconds. He
Okay.
made me feel like, hey, we're just chatting. There is zero air around him, basically. There is zero
Okay.
air.
There's this
He
influence, we
completely,
must say.
sorry.
There is that influence, we must say.
Yeah, no, like he like, for us, at least for me, he's a larger than life personality. He is,
Yeah,
because of his
exactly.
history and because of his, presence and everything, everything. But when I met him in real life, he is just a normal person. There is
Hmm.
no um, कुछ है ही नहीं ऐसे कि I am this person or I am
Hmm.
whatever, and that helped me so much, because in the first minute itself I was like, oh wow, okay, I can just normally talk to him and ask him about my character, whatever I want to, and all of that. And then
Yeah,
over the course of these 10, 11 days, oh my god, he is such a loving, caring, gentle, and intelligent filmmaker and collaborator, because he gave me all the freedom. He was ever complimenting me, like he was complimenting me so much, and it is so important as an actor. Like if someone if someone like him
yeah,
says, wow, that was good, like that is validation to another level, right? That is
exactly.
like, wow, an established, accomplished, successful, talented actor, bona fide star is telling you that you did well, is just brilliant. And that was, yeah, we shot for 11 days together. He was literally so easy to work with, so loving. And he, man, I have to mention this, right, quickly, because
Sure.
I'll never forget this experience. My mother is also a huge fan of his,
Okay.
and I am very professional when it comes to not getting anyone on the film set. It's because I know people do, but like actors do, but I feel like it's not a field trip, it's not a picnic that you're on.
Right.
It is a professional outing, so I don't really get anyone on set when I'm shooting. But mom is such a big fan that I just had to ask. So I one day went up to him and I'm like, sir, I never do this, but my mom is like, she only loves three people in the industry. There's Amitabh, there's Shahrukh, and there's you, and it's the truth. And I was wondering if she could just drop by, said like for 5 minutes, see you, and leave. And he was like, "Arey, kuthe hai tya? Kuthe hai?" And then he's like, "Acha, video call her right now." Of course, of course. And I was like, "No, no, sir. Can she come tomorrow?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, done." And then the next morning, I'm on set, and as he enters the set, he comes to me. He's like, "Where is your mom?"
Hmm.
I was like, "Sorry, she's coming." And wow. And then mom came actually, like in the afternoon or something. And Ritesh, sir, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating this. He stopped the shoot for
Okay.
half an hour. He pulled up a chair in front of my mother, and my sister was there too. And he was talking to them for half an hour. For half an hour straight, he was talking to them. He has this amazing sense of respect for people. It's like I really, it was so beautiful, and I got emotional seeing that. Like he took so much efforts
Yeah.
to and for half an hour he was talking to them. He got to know them, he shared his own life with them. And
Yeah.
after that he's like, you're not leaving without having lunch with me. Then he kind of had lunch with
Okay.
my mom and my sister. And yeah, man, and that, like, I thanked him. I got very emotional at the end of the shoot, where I told him that, sir, I'll never forget what you did for my family, because my family is everything for me. And seeing what you did, and ऐसा होता है ना कि यार जरूरत नहीं रहती. There is no
Hmm.
need for
Yeah.
him or anyone to do what he did, but he
Right.
did it.
You did it. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
and yeah, man, that was the biggest highlight. Biggest highlight.
I mean, truly amazing. Like, these are the things which I actually need to, record into podcast and then gain something from
Yeah,
it. Because these makes like there's an every thought like person has that we people don't know what these actors do in, because we all can see them on the screens, right? But then
correct.
again, behind the screens, what is happening and what relations you guys share, that's truly phenomenal. Because you as an artist learning from a senior artist, and then again, like seeing your mother, chatting with Ritesh sir, it's kind of learning you get every second.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm telling you, I'll never forget. Never forget.
Amazing.
It
Like
was
this
too
is
kind. Too
one
kind.
of
Too kind.
possessions you can have in life, prize possessions.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And certainly, like, knowing about these projects and knowing about your journey, that makes me, question this philosophy you have, or like
Right.
bio I read you on, your Instagram, that is, Memento Mori, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to
Yeah.
know, some couple of words or thoughts, what is exactly, just have a chat about it.
Oh, yeah. Sure, man. So, I have toyed with philosophies and different school of thoughts a lot uh,
Mm-hmm.
throughout, if not throughout my life, but since the past 5 years, I've been toying with a lot of philosophies, different sorts of philosophies. I had a phase where I was kind of trying to practice and getting to know Buddhism.
Okay.
Um, I did this retreat called Vipassana also, but I kind of sadly, got out of touch. And then for the past almost 2 years now, I follow this philosophy called Stoicism.
Okay.
Um, and Memento Mori actually comes from that uh, kind of philosophy. And Memento Mori basically means that, so Stoicism is really misunderstood because it kind of keeps telling you to remember that you're going to die one day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is taken in a lot of negative manner, but what it actually mainly means, so Memento Mori means that you could leave life today. Let that decide what you do today and tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
I see.
So, right, that is the main philosophy, the crux of this philosophy, Memento Mori. Is one of the sayings. It basically tells you that you have to meditate on mortality. You have to know that death is happening every day, in the sense, every minute, in the sense of आपका time जा रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending one minute like a currency.
Right.
Time is a currency. So
Right.
like you spend, अरे आज मेरा यार 3,000 रुपए खर्चा हो गया. It's like you can also, you are never like, अरे यार आज मेरा 24 घंटा खत्म हो गया. One more day gone, one more day gone, one more day. So it basically tells you to keep reminding yourself in the context of do what matters the most with your time, because
Right.
it's limited, because one day we are all going to leave this world or whatever, and it's not some sad thing or like taboo. It's a
Mm-hmm.
reality. It's the ultimate truth. The
Yeah.
ultimate truth is we are all going to leave one day. So keep that in mind and let that decide how you live life every day. Another thing Stoicism really focuses on, which I love, which this is all common knowledge, but practicing it every day kind of helps me to keep and remind myself of that. It also talks about how you should only focus on what you can control, because see, so there's a very famous saying. So there are three main philosophers
Sure.
in Stoicism. There's Marcus Aurelius, which I think we have heard of.
Yeah.
There's Seneca, and there's Epictetus. So
Okay.
these three Greek philosophers, they of course existed long back, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, Rome. Yeah, Rome. And all three of them really faced a lot of adversity. They faced like insane failures and tragedy and all of that, but through that they lived through these philosophies. So Seneca has a
Mm-hmm.
very famous saying, saying that we suffer more in imagination than in reality,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And it's, we all know it. We all know it. And basically that says that try to live in the moment as much as possible, because
Exactly.
what's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
And and the thought after that, that Stoics say is, only focus on what you can control, because give 100% to what you can control, give 0% to what you can't control,
Can't control. Yeah.
and you'll progress a lot. And another thing is, you control how you risk. See, things are going to keep happening. The only thing that you control is how you respond to those things,
Right.
right? And that
Right.
makes all the difference.
All the difference. Yeah. Exactly.
The life you live, because things are going to keep happening to you, man, every day to everyone, every day to everyone. That's how the human experience is.
Yeah.
We wake up every day, we don't know what's going to happen. We can only control certain things, what time I wake up, or what food I eat,
Yeah.
or like, things like that. But because we are a social animal, because we are coexisting as a human being,
Yeah.
a lot of things are also out of our control. And when something that we didn't specifically want to happen happens, it is on us how to respond to that, and that will make all the difference, basically. you
Exactly.
know
I'm able to connect to you on that basis. But as an 18-year-old, where I see, and there's no problem, like, yeah, these things are common to know, but people are
yeah,
far away from that understanding of significance. Like, uska actual significance kya hai, people aren't able to know. And that's why they lead up to use, negativity of philosophy.
yeah. I think it's a job. You should treat it, I think. Practicing well-being is a full-time job. Being in the right mental space, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, me, when I say I practice stoicism, I mean that I will watch a video or a podcast every day without fail on that.
Okay.
I will remind myself. I have 3 apps on my phone dedicated to stoicism, the philosophy of stoicism, where every day a saying pops up by Epictetus or Seneca or Aurelius.
Mhm.
It should be a daily reminder. And to be honest, am I like,
Yeah.
वो बोलते हैं ना कि बड़ा भाई बोलता है छोटे भाई को ये मत कर वो मत कर, because he's experienced it. But the chota bhai never listens, and until he experiences it, he or she
Exactly.
whatever, you know.
Hmm.
So of course it is a way of life that you can't expect uh, people to just get it, and you have to experience certain things in life, certain rock bottoms, certain loss, certain tragedy, to start relating to the things that the wise men have said.
Yeah.
Like, as you keep getting older, all the sayings make more sense. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. I mean, like the thing about I was saying was, like, me personally, 18, I've just passed my
Yeah.
school, and that's when actually life begins. But then again, I see this, listen to this podcast and guests coming over and saying, at the end of the show, adding a closing note. Okay, be patient, be consistent, and all stuff. But that again starts to make sense once I start doing those things. So okay, patience
Correct.
was such a short word, but again, that makes a difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is like, that's why I have this rule. I don't give advice.
Okay.
I don't give advice because that's a, you don't know how mature slash old they are. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know their mindset. You don't know their upbringing. You don't know, even if they're your best friend also,
Okay.
you don't know where they're coming from mainly.
Right.
So I never give advice to anyone. Leave everyone at their own pace. Be with them. Try to give them a good time when you're around them. Try to make them feel good, but don't get into this all gyan, because so many people just give people gyan, and give, in person they will give them a bad experience. So what's the point of it?
Right. Highly agree. I
Yeah.
mean, over that. And then
Yeah.
again, switching from philosophies, I just want to
Yeah.
know, as this we are noting this journey, sharing my
Yeah.
kind of motivation is just give an example short of experiencing mine. You must have seen Rocky Balboa, obviously.
Oh yeah,
And Rocky Balboa, not, but just the Rocky first part.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's like what we see in this 2022. It feels so simple, like, it's just a one time movie. Okay, we are done with it. But like, again, up, Rocky getting up when he gets knocked out by Apollo Creed. So there's this same thing which I had. I just I'm more attracted towards Japanese culture as well. So
Aha, manga.
yeah, manga and anime. So
Oh,
it's,
nice.
there is this anime called, also a manga called Hajime no Ippo. So he's a boxer
Okay,
basically. And
okay.
then again, watching him doing road work basically on daily basis, that made me inspire and motivate, get up in the morning and start running. And then again,
Hmm.
these people have this kind of this ethic that, I just won't give up, like, no matter what.
Hmm.
It's quite simple, but these things just coming popping up again and again makes me, more stiff and more, like, even I can't be that. I need to be that stubborn, and I can do it. It's possible.
Wow, man. So your source of motivation is like these animes also. Like, have they made a difference?
Yeah, they are making, actually, personally, me. And they are quite, just adding this kind of motive, like, it's, let it be extrinsic for now. But again, when I
Hmm.
get my results, they automatically turn myself this motivation into intrinsic one, because I see results now.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
we lead, then I get led by myself, that okay, I get motivated by myself now. I don't need these
But
things.
Amay, do you use anything like as a daily reminder of like sort? Like I said, as I follow, like I have downloaded apps to just remind me that this is this you have to, because consistency is not easy, is
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean. So do
For
you have any reminders or in daily life?
not as such as reminders, but yeah, it's about memos and, scheduling things just a night before. And then
Oh, you do
again,
that? You journal?
yeah, for now I do journal. But again, like, these are just some imprints that I have now, because on consistent basis I used to read manga, and then some of my favorite creators, so they have kind of left an imprint over me. So it's getting much more easier.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Nice. So it's getting imprinted on you as you go ahead.
Yeah, so even it's not like that I need to consume them now on daily basis, like, आज भी
Correct.
उनका एपिसोड आए, आज भी यार कुछ भी करके देखना पड़ेगा. So
Correct.
yeah, I have their
It has
common
already
basis.
impacted you in a deep way.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow.
So this was just
That's
the
really cool.
thing
Are
I
you
needed.
religious, man?
Excuse me.
Are you religious?
No, I mean, I haven't like discovered, and right now I can't say anything because I'm not
Hmm.
firm about it much more.
Hmm. 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 Okay.
That's it. So I wanted to know, like, what was your,
Yeah.
because I know last 3 4 years it must have been a lot of hassle for you, and then it makes much more easier and makes sense right now that okay, these projects are releasing this year, but there was a lot of hassle you had back then.
Oh
So
wow. Yeah, man.
getting everything together, I want to know what was your source of motivation and all.
Um. Um. Damn, man. Okay. So I think I hit the rock bottom of the rock bottom in end of 2018. Like
Okay.
rock bottom of rock bottom, where nothing went right. Yes, I had shot for one feature film as the lead, but of course after that, it is very unpredictable. Ki kab release hoga, kya hoga, all of that.
Right.
I went, to be honest, my personal life wasn't the greatest. I went through a really, really, yeah, like bad toxic breakup or whatnot.
Mhm.
And I again got back to Pune, and lockdown hit. So I think from 2019 end to today, um, I had to really go back to the basics, man. I had to go back to the basics of a spending a lot of time with your loved ones, because during this um, the journey that took me to the rock bottom of rock bottom. While I was going through that journey, I wasn't the best with my family. Also, like I wasn't. in constant contact with them, or I wouldn't do a lot of things for them. So I started doing that.
Mm.
Uh, I started doing that. I started putting myself first. Like all of this is going to sound very cliche, but man, it works. You know, it just works. That's why it is a cliche, maybe.
Mm.
I started putting myself first. My I can't point a finger on what my exact just like go-to sense of motivation was, because as they say, I believe in it, that motivation is a very overused word.
Mm.
A lot of people try to base their lives on motivation, but yeah, motivation रोज नहीं आता है, नहीं आता.
नहीं आता.
It's a very, it's like one day you feel motivated and you're like, I'm going to conquer the world, but to conquer the world you have to work every day for, let's say, 10 years.
Right.
And that's where consistency comes. That's where self-discipline comes. That's where making peace with loneliness comes.
Right.
That's where, like, you know, bolte hai Ronin warriors, you know, the lone warrior and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. Like warriors, I think in Japanese only. Japanese warriors called themselves Ronins, the outlaws sorts, where they didn't have anything bounding them down so they could just do what they wanted to. But yeah, like basically, uh, just, you know, being okay with having bad days, with having nothing happening, being okay with missing out on 100 things that you think are cool, that social media tells you
Yeah.
you should be doing, being okay with just being at home, working on yourself day in, day out, not giving a damn about what others are doing, motivating yourself, like having small goals. I won't say motivation, because motivation, trust me, it just comes like twice a month to me. So I can't rely on motivation. Really can't. It's just going by, like you rightly said, you write everything you want to do the next day
Right.
in the night, the previous night.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be a structure. You have to wake up one day, you have to be like, enough is enough. I believe in enough is enough moments also. Like I've had a couple of those where you're just like, you hit a rock bottom and you're like, enough.
Mm.
And after that, you just every day, like, even if you don't want to, see, everyone hates waking up early, everyone hates working out, everyone hates meditating because it's literally sitting in one place,
Right.
everyone hates sitting down with a book and journaling because it's like back to school.
Yeah.
Everyone hates eating right, because wow, we are used to like amazing food and fast food. So most of the things that are good for you, you will hate. So motivation is not going to help you, because you're not going to get motivated about these things, to do these things. You're not going to be like,
Right.
wow, I'm going to wake up early, wow, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to work out, wow, I'm going to journal today. They're all boring things. They're all very difficult, like not easy things to do. So I
Yes.
just feel like it's, yeah, it's just like discipline, self-discipline, telling yourself, bro, you're not going to love these things, but they're going to be amazing tools to lead a fulfilling life.
Exactly.
And if you keep telling yourself that every day, if
Yeah.
you start making peace with people doing what they have to do and whatever, and not wanting to be in whatever relationships, or chilling with friends all the time, or being a part of all the music festivals and concerts, you know, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cliches.
Right.
And if
Right.
you're okay with making peace with that,
Mm.
um, no one, you're unstoppable, and everything follows, man. Everything follows. You get the
Certainly.
right circle, you get financial freedom, you enjoy things after that, then, because you become a different person only when you go through that journey of
Right.
self improvement. Like that's why I said, like, I'm so happy, proud, and glad that your self improvement journey has started so early on, because it's only going up from here, you know.
Right. Right. I get
So
it.
I feel that. I feel, yeah, like that is what keeps me every day now. Because I can see the other side. I can see the better side because I've seen the what it can be, how bad it can be, and it always reminds me that no, I don't ever want to go there. The rock bottom of the rock bottom.
Right. But that's what, that was a great concept, you throw it in, like, literally. I mean, that was deep, man, because motivation isn't
Like,
just a thing, like these introduction of words that come into your life, like, you said that getting into peace with loneliness.
hmm.
These kind of words are deep, but yeah, this concept was really, I mean, I feel it relatable at the starting point. So thanks to you, man, for this.
Oh man, fuck! Thank you. Yeah, man. I'm glad it resonated with you.
Yeah. And so, like, a lot of philosophies and a lot of deep talk. Now just let's just get cooled down, not just little cooled down.
Sorry if I made Amay's podcast too deep and too dark.
No, I mean, we need this kind of content, but yeah, certainly,
Yeah,
like, let's just cool down. Like, there's some interesting part which I can add, I guess.
yeah,
That's an
yeah,
rapid
please.
fire.
Oh, damn! Rapid fire round. I already feel like an actor again.
No, I mean, these conversations gets more interesting once we, just slide
Oh,
into words quickly and know more about you.
yeah, man. Of course, sure.
Okay, so yeah, there are 5, 6 questions which I have. Let's just go it through quickly. Are we ready then, Karan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll just start. Okay, the first question is, describe Karan in 3 words.
Oh, emotional, hardworking, artistic.
Okay, what was your breakthrough point of life as of now?
2018, rock bottom of the rock bottom.
Yeah, and 3 movies that you'd watch over and over and never get tired of.
Oh wow. Rang De Basanti,
Mm-hmm.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and Before Sunrise.
Okay, what is your favorite dialogue?
Oh, my favorite dialogue. I'm so bad with dialogues. I'm not that. I'm not that filmy guy, but so many that I can't frame them. Uh,
The one that remains, the best or to you.
I'm sorry, I can't remember, but I'm sure it's something to do with love from Before Sunrise. It's something to do with the concept of love from
Mhm.
the film Before Sunrise. I'm really sorry, I can't completely remember and frame it
It's okay. I
right
mean,
now.
that it adds to the answer, certainly. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
okay. And again, people that inspire you.
Oh, people that inspire me. A lot of them, man. I think artists inspire me a lot because, as I say, being an artist is a very lonely path,
Hmm.
and not everyone understands you, and you could just be misunderstood, and you can feel not relatable to a lot of people as you embark on this journey further and further. So the artists like Daniel Day-Lewis, Amir Khan, Ranbir Kapoor, wow, um, a few writers, Murakami, um, and yeah, maybe Michael Jackson, rest in peace.
That was like great addition. And then,
Yeah.
okay, then just close with the rapid fire. But tell me a man, like, who would you say, like, okay, this is an artist and this is an art. Like, what a man, we can say.
Oh,
Like if I talk about rap or like I talk about lyricism, then I must say Eminem, okay, what he does actually. So that's like what a man we can say. So, you must be knowing what a creative satisfaction is. So, I just wanted to know, like, who's that man you admire?
I admire. I think I admire. I'm torn between Leonardo DiCaprio and Daniel Day Lewis because they are two completely different way of living.
Mm-hmm.
like two different lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll go with Leonardo DiCaprio because he kind of is still a balancing act. Like he's better at balancing personal and professional life.
Mm.
I just feel I've always wanted to be an actor since the time I wanted to be an actor because I feel it is so powerful when you can make people feel, when you can uh, awaken a sort of emotion inside people's body without even being there.
Mm.
And just seeing you on screen, they literally feel all sorts of emotions. So Leonardo has done that a lot to me through
I
his
see.
eyes,
Yeah.
and I admire um, him, and just yeah, I wish I'll be like 1% of what he does on screen one day. That's all.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. I mean, like there are a lot of films, like even I feel Leonardo DiCaprio actually creates a lot of influence. Like,
Like
sir,
he makes you feel, inside.
oh, have you watched the recent Batman movie?
I did.
And like adding to this point, Robert Pattinson did had the same influence through his eyes. Don't you think?
Oh, oh, Amay, you will not believe. Like I watched it with my really good friend, and he is like an insane like the typical Batman fan, right? Like comics, everything, and
Oh,
animation, everything
DC.
he's
Yeah.
watched and all of that. So I I told him like after the movie, I wouldn't shut about the eyes of Robert Pattinson because every Batman otherwise has treated it like, "Arey, mask. We are wearing a mask, so mostly we are
A
going to
dark
focus on action
voice.
sequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice and the action sequences when the mask is on."
Hmm.
But Robert Pattinson showed everyone that actually, when you have a mask on, your biggest superpower and tool is your eyes as an actor, and
Right.
how you can emote. And oh man, the stares, the pain, uh, the tragedy, like you can feel it through his eyes, man. You can feel it through like what Bruce Wayne has gone through
Yeah.
until up until that point. Oh, you can see it through his eyes. Fuck, man,
Exactly.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
The
I
best
just
Batman, I will say it out
exactly
loud.
same,
The
same,
best
same
Batman.
here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So that was the end of the episode. Actually, I hope you enjoyed it, Karan.
Oh, I man, what the hell? I'm like, I'm sad that it's ended. I really
Surely,
enjoyed.
I mean, there's this part two which will be coming in future too.
Oh yes, yes. I would love to, man. And again, am I like, you're doing so well for your age, and please keep it up, man. And
Sure, man.
I'm your lifelong. I'm one call away anytime you want to talk about anything, man. Because yeah, please don't lose the focus, brother. You're doing
Exactly. I
too well.
mean, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
before closing this, like just a small closing note, not just a typical one, but yeah, in short, what would it be for the younger generation?
Um, try to put yourself first. People are going to project their own insecurities on you, so don't take what people say too seriously,
Hmm.
because they're battling their own life, and they will only project their own insecurities on you. So don't focus on what other people say. um, Focus to be financially independent as soon as you can,
Hmm.
because once you have financial freedom, the world is filled with opportunities, and you can just literally fly. And yeah, put yourself first. Put yourself first. um, doesn't matter, because uh, the longest and the biggest relationship you're going to have is with yourself.
Right.
As simple as that. Yeah, you're with yourself from the first day to the last day, so please put yourself first.
Exactly. So, surely a wonderful note and takeaways that are being added in this episode. So, yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
also adding social media handle of Karan in the description of a Spotify, as well
Oh
as it will
yes.
be, yeah, and then it will be releasing on YouTube too. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Karan and Amay checking out for today's episode. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Amay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Shout out to Daily Trigger podcast.
you. Yeah.